Eagles. Eagles. You best believe it. Blowout.
And ever since that day I had her. Yeah. They wanna know the kind of ride I.
All right. Welcome to Recognized Game, presented by Jim Mint 10 Sports, our celebration of the week that was in sports, music, and much more. I am EB, the creator and CEO of In My Bag Apparel, the custom streetwear brand that collaborates with artists from around the country to bring classic and original designs to life at an inexpensive price. With me, as always, is the owner and head barber of Bully's Cuts and Styles, huge Eagles fan, my brother CB the Bully. How we living, big dog?
Oh, we doing fantastic today. We stopped history in its tracks. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Indeed, man. Let's get right to it, man. Super Bowl 59, Eagles beat the Chiefs 40-22, and it wasn't that close. The Eagles defense dominated this game. 6 sacks, 2 picks, 4 pass deflections, a forced and recovered fumble. And they didn't blitz one time. Like, they had that much pressure with their front four. That Eagles defense, along with the work they did in the secondary, you mentioned those interceptions and passes deflected, was just ridiculous work. A lot of people were talking about Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, going into this game, and how they hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in so many games, which we'll get to that in a second. But a lot of respect needs to be put on Vic Fangio's name, the defensive coordinator from the Eagles. He's had this defense, for the lack of a better term, flying all year, top of the league, and they showed why when it mattered most.
They just look like the better team, man. They
Absolutely, man.
Probably are the better team.
And go ahead.
Go ahead.
And the Chiefs did what everybody said would be the key to them winning this game. Stop Saquon Barkley, stop the Eagles' run attack,
sure,
and make Jalen Hurts beat you.
He did that.
Saquon Barkley, 57 yards on 25 carries. That's what they wanted, man. You know what I mean? But all Jalen Hurts does is give you 221 yards on 17 for 22 passing, 2 touchdowns, a brotherly shove for another touchdown. The early interception, but with the way that defense was playing and the poise that quarterback shows, that didn't seem to matter. Not only leads this team to a Super Bowl victory on their second trip in 3 years, but also wins your Super Bowl MVP. And like he said, they're champions forever, man. So, what are your thoughts overall in this game? I don't want to spend too much time on the Chiefs. Like you said, they stopped history in their tracks and were the better team.
Yeah.
They disrupted everything that the Chiefs wanted to do.
I could tell by a couple weeks ago and how both of them played by then that who was the better team that night. Jalen did great, bro. Throwing, the push play. They did stop Saquon, but the throwing, man, he showed that he's a well-rounded quarterback, man, and they're going to definitely have to put some respect on that man's name. You gotta mention him in the elite quarterbacks.
Absolutely. AJ and Devontae getting the end zone. He had a nice.
Man, that was great to see too. Sometimes one will struggle, but they were both clicking. They were catching everything in their direction, even if it was out of bounds.
Yeah, word, man. Congratulations to the Eagles. That was just beautiful. Even just as a fan of a team in the division in the Broncos, it was nice to watch the Chiefs lose. It was dope that I only had to see Taylor Swift once that I really noticed. If there was any other time, I have no idea. I saw her one time early in the game, and that was it.
Right.
But it was just domination, man. You place any bets on this Super Bowl?
Yeah, I did place. I placed probably 3 different bets. You got to do the safe one where it's just the money line. The team that you want to win or the team that you think is going to win. I went with the Eagles. That was the only one that hit for me.
Ooh.
Reasons why Kelsey was supposed to hit the end zone for me, and my boy Saquon was supposed to hit the end zone. If that were to hit, I would have hit my biggest bet of the night for sure.
Very nice.
What about you?
I placed a couple. Shout out DraftKings. I created this super Eagles friendly parlay that had Devontae over like 60 yards, had Saquon over a certain amount of yards.
Right.
Eagles winning, had a couple other things mixed in. I didn't hit on that one. because I had Saquon getting in the end zone in the first half. Other than that, I would have hit on that one, I think.
Hmm.
But they had a little special going on Xavier Worthy over 50 yards or more, and he ended up with 157 yards, caught all 8 of his targets and 2 touchdowns. I put $10 on him to get 50 yards.
He was doing his thing. He was doing his thing today for sure.
That it paid out $150 on that $10, so I'll take that shit all day just on that one bet. So I spent 21 150.
Not at all.
Take it, especially my Longhorn getting it done. Shout out Xavier Worthy for I know what probably he doesn't care. It didn't work out for them, but thank you for that. And an Eagles win, man. Did you see any commercials that stood out to you?
Yeah, man. One of my favorites would have to be the NFL. Actually, did a commercial with women's flag football with Marshawn Lynch in the stands talking this shit. I think that was pretty dope. And at the end, it said, "Make women's flag football a varsity sport in all 50 states." I thought that shit was hard as fuck.
I love that commercial. I had seen a little bit of that coming. There were some teasers throughout the week on the Pat McAfee show because he was the principal in the commercial.
Okay.
But yeah, that whole commercial was dope. The Baja Blast commercial that had Seal as a seal singing a new version of "Kiss from a Rose." That was my shit.
I didn't even cash out.
You didn't even see that?
Uh-uh.
All right, you're gonna have to look back at that one because Seal as a seal. I've already seen memes of it. It's great.
I'm sure they'll start playing all these commercials over now.
Oh yeah, they will now for sure. They've already played 16 times. You know what I mean? The Nike women's commercial, the Win commercial. They said you can't do this, you shouldn't do that. The one that had like Asia and Sha'Carri Richardson and Caitlin Clark and all of those women in it. That was a dope commercial to me. My favorite, huh?
You about to talk about the one after the Super Bowl?
Oh man,
yeah, that was the best one.
Love Hurts.
Love Hurts is the illest Jordan.
That was such a dope commercial, Doug. That was a hell of a Jordan commercial. I love that shit. That was my favorite commercial, I think.
Yeah, Jordan's been making hitters lately with the commercial.
That's hilarious that we're about to say that shit at the same time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Makes sense though. You want to talk about halftime?
It was cool. He played a lot of his new stuff. Anything he had with SZA. Diabolical on a whole different level of beefs.
On different levels.
Different levels of beef that you've never seen before. Say it's petty. I say it was petty.
It's petty.
It was petty. But the man won, and he shows it again with the lights from the game over to the looking at the fucking screen while he's walking sideways saying, "Say Drake." Smiled. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's subliminals in it.
It was too easy to make him bully of the week, so we just talk about this now. But even more than that, the things that made him bully of the week to me were the things that you're mentioning. That smile dead at the camera was fucking perfect.
Man,
the fact that he told him to turn his TV off, and I guarantee it was right around that time Drake turned his TV off.
Oh no, I don't. I think it was way before that. He didn't catch the halftime show
because he was like, all right, I'm gonna look at this, and it is what it is. He's not gonna be able to do They Not Like Us, and even if he is, they're not gonna let him get too far with it. But he got just as far as he needed to get with it. The tease of They Not Like Us was perfect. The A minor, the little A chain, the Serena Williams, Doug.
Yeah. The crowd said A minor alone. It's like that's all you really needed.
Serena Williams, Doug. You got Serena Williams walking on you at the Super Bowl. He said your name, and then the game over. If there was a question, and for some reason there were still people out there saying that Drake won the beef, even with these lawsuits and everything, that's fucking delusional. If there was any question of who won this beef, it ended tonight at the Super Bowl. Game over, like Kendrick said. That was wild.
Now, where does he go from here? Where does K. Kendrick Lamar go from here?
He continues to create. I think that song never needs to be played again. unless you're rewatching the Super Bowl halftime show or something like that, the radio needs to take them off. They don't need to play it on Spotify or Apple Music or nothing. That was the last time that song needed to be played. Point made. Period. And just end it like that and focus on, because it's not on the album, so focus on the album now. You got your Grammys, you did the Super Bowl, focus on the album, you got a tour coming up, you focus on that. This song is over. You don't need to do this song on tour, nothing. They Not Like Us can be put up on the shelf, bronzed, in the Hall of Fame. It did its thing, never needed again.
So you say that it could be hung up next to the Ether joint or the Hit 'em Up joint, the back-to-back joints.
It might have to move those down one and take its rightful spot, because it'll say Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
To perform a diss track at the Super Bowl.
that adds a little more shine to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to end it on that stage with, I think they said 120 million people watching. Done. You don't need to do it at concerts or nothing anymore. That song is in its case where it needs to be.
The say Drake smile to the camera was probably the moment he was waiting for the most.
That's going to be the picture.
Dead this shit completely. That was it, bro.
That's the picture that's going to be hung up in the Hall of Fame. In that case, next to the rest of those diss tracks, it's him smiling right at the camera saying, "Hey, Drake."
There's people talking trash about it too. You see that? Like, there's people talking about worst halftime show ever. What you want them to do? Did you want them to hang upside down or get shot out of a cannon?
I don't care.
Niggas don't want bars no more. I know you. Yeah,
it did its thing, man.
I enjoyed it. Who should be next to grace the stage of the Super Bowl?
The question is, where is Super Bowl 60?
That is the question.
Let's find out real quick.
Or is it? Because, nigga, it could be in California. We might get Drake. That'd be crazy.
So Santa Clara, it's in the Bay. Is that real? Is that what it says?
Well,
hold on.
Well, let me speak that up into existence.
Super Bowl 60, San Francisco.
Yep.
So you got Bay Area.
Get Drake and Wayne in that bitch, huh?
No, that's not. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I don't know if they give you another hip hop. You might have to soften it up a little bit. Go R&B. Like,
might be for the ladies. It might be the ladies. You know.
Is it a T-Pain Super Bowl? You know what I mean? Is it a?
We all know we need one of those.
I'm okay with the T-Pain Super Bowl. Is it shit? Who else can it be? We need. Is it the Taylor Swift Bowl?
Is it Black Country?
Is it inevitable? It's inevitable that Taylor Swift does a Super Bowl, right? Like, we got Kendrick. Maybe we got to give him Taylor now. It looks like it might be the only way they get there.
Might be the way.
So maybe it's Taylor.
Might be. They let us do it this year. I can't even be mad on whoever they choose next year. What they let us do this year.
It might be cool if they don't even do Taylor and they give us, like, I don't like saying they, but we ended up with like Teddy Swims or something. He had a bunch of cool guests and shit like that. I'd be cool with a Teddy Swims Super Bowl. I'll fuck with it. And that could have, you can see Shabuzi making a cameo there and something like that happening. I'm alright with a Teddy Swims Super Bowl.
Shabuzi got to bring another one though. Shabuzi got to have another one in the tuck.
That was my least favorite commercial. Was probably the one he did with the Nerds cluster.
I didn't even know where it was going until he did the hook at the end.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
He almost turned into one of them nerd things.
Maybe his next hit will be his own song. Everybody forgetting about. I heard somebody say it was Chingy did good, but Shabuzi did it better. Bitch, that was Jaquan. Chingy had nothing to do with this song.
That was definitely Jaquan.
They don't even know. Put some respect on Jaquan's name. So I'm gonna need Shabuzi's next hit to be his own.
Completely.
But once again, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles, man, winning the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I like how you put it, stopping history in its tracks.
Yes, sir.
All right, man, let's get it around the rim. Trade deadline. A lot happened this week. Trade deadline. All-star teams were decided. A lot of movement. Some were supposed to move and didn't. Give me one of your winners from this trade deadline.
The Warriors. I'm gonna say the Warriors, man. I think it's gonna bring a whole new light, a whole new energy. They're tougher. They got more, veteran presence, more playmaking. They got better overnight. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The Warriors got better overnight.
And they
And
didn't have to give up much. They kept all their young pieces that would look to be the coveted assets. Kept everybody intact. That's great. I agree. The Warriors were a big winner at this deadline, and for this small sample size, in the way that Steph went off and went that in that third quarter, 24 points in the quarter. Jimmy ended up with 20 plus in the game too.
you see that a lot.
That's
And Draymond's fucking with having another dog with him.
another big dog. It's gonna be they got a lot scarier, I will admit.
Yeah,
One of my winners is the LA Lakers. I know I said a lot about them not having a big, and I'll get to that in a minute as well, which is why they could very well have been losers with the Mark Williams trade not working out.
sure.
But they traded for a returning Luka Doncic with a brand new chip on his shoulder, and Anthony Davis is out multiple weeks. Lakers win that deal. So Lakers are a winner at the deadline, I'd say.
Yep. Another winner.
Another winner.
I have to say San Antonio, man.
Agreed. I have them as one of mine as well.
I think they got better overnight. More scoring, veteran presence, the fastest point guard in the league, the smartest point guard in the league, and the biggest motherfucker in the league.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. They you add De'Aaron Fox to that and didn't have to give up any of their young core. I was worried that they'd have to give up Stephon Castle,
Yeah.
the rookie this year. He'll be in the dunk contest.
Nice.
They didn't have to give up any of their pieces. They kept their vets. The first game, just like we said, that small sample size, just like with the Warriors, De'Aaron Fox looked great. Like he just fit right into that lineup, like he was supposed to be there.
Right.
Struggled in the second game. Most of the team, everybody else outside of Devin Vassell, struggled in that second game. But once these guys figured out, and with veteran presence like CP3 and Harry Barnes, this team could be very dangerous for any team in the West going forward in the playoffs. You just got to hope that they're not a late season Chris Paul injury away from derailing what they got going on this season and going forward.
Yeah, that, and you could almost feel the presence of what was going on in OKC. These young cats they got, they're building toward the future, and they're going to be scary. Spurs are back, kind of.
Common denominator. I'm glad you brought that up. SGA spent a year in OKC with Chris Paul.
With Chris Paul, and now he's the fucking killer of the league.
Now he's giving it to Wemby and De'Aaron Fox with Vassell, Sohan, all these young people. Stephon Castle's going to be huge. They're playing a lineup with all three guards with Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and CP3. That's interesting. But yeah, agreed, 100%. Spurs are definitely one of the winners at the deadline. You got a third one?
You know what? It might be the Bucks. I like the Kyle Kuzma trade. I think
like
it's a new energy. He's like a smaller Bobby Portis. You know what I'm saying?
He still does some stupid shit. I watched the game today against Philly,
Right.
and there's still some Kuzma in there taking stupid step backs and shit like that. But
He's a J.R. Smith baby.
it'll take him a little minute, but I think that Kuz trade is going to work out over there. There's people
I
that
think Doc will be able to chill him out a little bit throughout his years.
agreed. Once Giannis gets back too, once that team's full, they had a great game today. But Dame had 42 today, balling.
And he'll get his hand on the ball, on the rebound, the tip. Like Kyle, do some shit out there, bro.
And once he's back with a team with aspirations that are going somewhere that have a chance. We saw when he was locked in, when he was on LeBron's wing, having Giannis and Bobby Portis and Dame all there. And
Yeah, do not count the Bucks out of the East for sure.
No, not at all. You can't.
Yeah, new life brings some new light sometimes, man, for sure.
Absolutely. My final winner would be Ben Simmons. No matter how much he looks like the Monstars took his talent and refused to give it back.
They're not good. That Monstar died.
Right, the holding on to that, took that to the grave.
Yeah.
Somebody is going to pay Ben Simmons to play basketball. It's inevitable. It's going to happen as long as he's around. Somebody's going to pay him. He reached a buyout agreement this week with the Brooklyn Nets, so he's off of their books. They can wash their hands of what happened with Ben Simmons in Brooklyn. But now it's been reported that the Los Angeles Clippers will be signing Ben Simmons.
Wow.
So, I mean, in one aspect, you're bringing a former all-defensive talent to a team that already has James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. On another hand, you're bringing a dude that forgot how to play basketball 5 years ago.
Dude, what is up with those crazy-ass hook shot finger roll shits he be trying like he's Shaq? He play like Shaq, bro.
I haven't seen 1 second of Ben Simmons basketball this year.
I've tried to see, like, what's really going on. Is he making some noise? Is he shooting shots? Nah, he won't do it. He will not do it.
Don't understand. But
Crazy.
it
I'm surprised there's not more people in the league talking shit while they play this man.
exactly.
You don't want it. You don't want it. I'll talk
But
shit to that man.
somebody's gonna keep giving it to him, man. All right, let's go with some losers from the trade deadline. What you got?
I have to say, first and foremost, the Heat. They got worse. They got great players over there, man, but it's going to be hard for them to get out of that lowest bracket in the East now.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? They look like they need some veteran presence. Bam's sweet, Harold's nice, but they're going to need some help.
I like Khalil Ware. I talked about him at the beginning of the season as being a rookie that can make an impact with that team. And now that they've been playing Ware with Adebayo, they've been looking really good along with Tyler Hero hooping.
Oh, yeah, I want some more of them for sure.
But, you can't really necessarily say they got worse because Jimmy wasn't playing anyway. So you just have an empty roster spot there, and you add in a guy like Andrew Wiggins who could be decent if he locks in down there, as well as who's the other guy? Who else are they bringing in? Slow-Mo. They bring Slow-Mo in down there who could fit in with Heat culture, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
They got some decent pieces. Like they'll still be one of those mid-tier teams in the East, but trading a player who may be a star in Jimmy Butler, but wasn't playing for one reason or another, and turning that into Andrew Wiggins and Kyle Anderson, that could very well be looked at as an upgrade as well.
True. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Cam Johnson, one of my first losers. The talk all year was Cam just building a resume, being able to shine on a trash team, get his numbers, build his value towards this trade deadline for a contender to come in and swoop him up and him be the missing piece and ride off into the sunset that is the NBA Finals. And it was working out that way all year. We heard a lot of rumors of damn near every team around the league interested in Cam Johnson and bringing them in as a piece of their team. And to his credit, he could fit in on any roster in the NBA for what he gives to a team.
Oh, for sure.
So what happened? You know what I mean? Like, was the asking price too high? Is Brooklyn looking at him as a building block at 28 years old? Was it just not the right time? Are they being patient? Like, they can still move him in the summer and off season or up until next trade deadline, and I guess it could be worse than having a 28-year-old who produces on the team for at least another season.
Right.
But I was for sure that he would be out of Brooklyn and somewhere playing meaningful basketball. Instead, the Nets' only moves were trading Finney Smith and Dennis Schroeder for second-round picks and then buying out Ben Simmons. So, what do you think happened? What do you think about that?
I don't know what happened, but he is their only shining spot on that team right now. The game winner the other night from D'Lo was kind of nuts, though. I did watch that.
D'Lo's had a couple games.
Yeah, he's gonna do that for sure. But I don't know, man. Brooklyn's slacking. They're probably taking the biggest L for sure. Chicago might be one as well.
What were they doing?
They got rid of everybody. Their whole team is white now, including Love. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Somebody talking about who was it? Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, Pat Bev was talking about that, man. It's just all bad. What do you say? He said Vujicic over here, like, what am I gonna do with all these young motherfuckers?
Right. They got that cat that's in the dunk contest that signed a Reebok. He might be maybe
Kobe White's good too.
might be a piece.
Lonzo's good. Uh,
Lonzo got an extension.
Lonzo got that extension. They're gonna definitely keep his ass around for sure. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe they got something in the future. We don't know what these motherfuckers got up their sleeve no more.
Luka got traded, dog. Anything.
Got traded.
Um, my next loss is Mark Williams. In wake of the LeBron or the AD and Luka trade, it was no secret the Lakers needed a big. They're gonna need somebody to protect the rim, grab rebounds, run the rim, grab lobs, things like that.
Right.
And we heard names like Jonas Valanciunas or Vucevic. Walker Kessler was a popular name for the last almost 2 seasons. For a brief time, Time Lord Robert Williams III was another option that they talked of. And under the radar, here comes super athletic and talented Mark Williams. He's had some injury problems, but with his age and now that we're operating on a Luka Doncic timeline, it seemed like he'd be a perfect fit for the Lakers. With that injury history, there was a lot of concerns that were red flagged during his physical for the Los Angeles Lakers, to where they ended up failing him on the physical, therefore rescinding the trade. Positive news, though, we do get Dalton Connect back. So maybe he comes back, out of a little bit of fear, like, oh shit, I almost ended up in Charlotte, dog. Let me go hoop with Luka. Maybe he,
What the fuck else was he supposed to do though? He was kind of hooping already.
it's
He
time to play.
almost taking an L, going back into that locker room, scared out of his mind, like, damn, they just waiting to get rid of my ass.
His chance to get on the court now is locking in on defense. It's a lot to ask, but if Dalton Connect can play some defense, he'll get on the court. You already got AR and Luka that aren't going to play the best defense in the world. So adding Dalton Connect to that's just further exposing your defensive problems. But if he locks in defensively and takes and makes those open shots, that's his key to getting on the court now.
Gotta ball out. Gotta sit down on defense, Connect.
He's going to have to lock in.
Come on, folks. I wonder if he's even going to have his number.
No, they gave that shit away or something. No, I mean, they give it to somebody else that's coming back in the deal.
Right.
You got another loss? Who else took another loser?
Well, it's definitely maybe AD, depending on this injury.
My last one was the Dallas Mavericks, so we're on the same page.
Screaming at the crowd saying I'm here, and then remind them what you're known for. And they were right. Like every time he jumped in the air, we were afraid that we won't see him for another 6 to 9 fucking weeks. I feel bad for Dallas and him because that's a terrible way to have your first game, dog. Christie was hooping a little bit, but
like you blindside the entire city in the league in the world by trading one of the best, if not the best, young player in the NBA to the Los Angeles Lakers for an aging, again, star, but aging, injury-prone star that now shortens your timeline from the next 10 to 15 years to the next 2 to 4.
Yeah.
So you get the backlash from that. You're getting Nico Collins is getting death threats. People yelling, "Sell the team!" They had a funeral outside the arena.
I got a client from Dallas, man. He lost sleep. He's a sophomore in college. Shout out Wes, but yeah, man, he was really hurt about it. They're not even thinking about AD. Like it's still like fuck. Like
right.
We were just in the finals last year.
Right.
He just put up 70.
And then you talk about making a debut. Anthony Davis was fucking balling. It looked like this was all going to work out. I had Dallas as, at this point, the winner in this trade. 26 points, 27 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks for dude in 31 minutes. He was balling.
He was balling. AD's nice, man.
Then we get a non-contact injury. And we know that before the trade went down, before the deadline, AD was already dealing with an ab problem. We saw him go down. We were both watching that game. I think we were FaceTiming during it.
Oh, yeah.
So this was his first game not only for Dallas but back from injury, and now he's out multiple weeks. Looks like indefinitely. They don't have any timeline for him with a left adductor strain.
Damn, he really tweaked something.
Yeah.
He was
So
talking in the post in the interview after that it was nothing. It's a little cool, but
not the case. Left adductor strain. He would miss multiple weeks. So we don't know what that timeline's looking like. He'll obviously miss the All-Star game. But yeah, this is kind of worst case scenario for Dallas Mavericks. Hopefully, we've seen some great ball out of Kyrie all season. Clay's had some good moments.
Christie, they're giving Christie a chance over there.
Some of those guys, PJ, a lot of these guys are gonna have to step up in AD's absence to keep them afloat in the Western Conference until AD can get back. And what version of AD do you get will be a question mark going forward as well.
Right.
Recently the reserves were announced as well as like I've been asking forever how this whole format thing was going to work out. Right. I didn't even vote for the All-Star team because I didn't know how starters will work when there's 3 different teams and all this shit, and how these teams were divided and how any of this was going to work out. That question was finally answered. The TNT inside the NBA crew, Kenny, Shaq, and Chuck, were tasked with drafting the pool of the 24 All-Stars to the respective All-Star teams. Obviously, there's 4 teams, so 3 of them will be made of NBA All-Stars, and the 4th will be the winner of the Rising Stars game. So those 3 NBA teams were picked by Shaq, Charles Barkley, and Kenny Smith. Here is how the team shook out. Kenny went for a young approach. I'm sure this was like a gimmick that was talked about beforehand, but this is what they said. Kenny went for the young stars, got a young team with him. Chuck went for the foreign-born stars or foreign affiliated in some cases, and Shaq went for legends. So the teams were drafted as follows. Team Kenny was Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero. Team Chuck is the Joker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, SGA, Victor Wembanyama, Pascal Siakam, Alperen Şengün, Karl Anthony Towns, and Donovan Mitchell. Team Diesel, LeBron, Steph, KD, Jason Tatum, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, James Harden, and Jaylen Brown. Obviously, Anthony Davis and Giannis Antetokounmpo are both injured and will miss the All-Star game. So there will be 2 reserves announced, I'd assume probably this week. Oh, it has to be All-Star games next weekend. So there'll be 2 reserves announced this week by Adam Silver in the NBA. And then, like I mentioned, the winner of the Rising Stars game will get that 4th spot. Who you got?
That legend squad, man.
It's a nice squad, but that team's going to want to rest during the week. Remember last year, Ron flew in day of the game. Like, he wasn't even there for the whole weekend or anything.
It's because it was in whack-ass Indiana.
I don't think
the most famous person that was in Indiana was Guy Fieri.
I think that team, that Legends team, is the least likely to win. Because there's going to be some kind of pride, especially from, like, if you look at the Foreigners team, some of those guys lost to those dudes in the Olympics. So, and they're going to want to put on for the Foreigners, even though Joker doesn't really see. Maybe not. So the young squad, I think the young squad is going to show up to play. Not the Rising Stars, but Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson.
It's for money too, so they might go crazy.
I don't know how the replacements are going to shake out. If those are going to be like same position replacements, or just guys that were close, like does Melo Ball get in as a replacement, or John Morant, guys like that, are they going to get in? But I mean, on paper, you want to take the Legends Shaq's team, but
absolutely. And it's the first time they're doing this. I got the Legends winning.
I'm gonna go. Goddamn, which team? Which one of these? Anthony Edwards said he don't give a shit about the All-Star game already, but Joker doesn't give a shit about the All-Star game. But Wemby might. Jalen Williams is gonna care. Tyler Hero's gonna care. Tyler Hero's gonna care. Kate Cunningham's gonna care a lot.
Tyler Hero got a chance, so he's gonna ball out.
Yeah, give me Team Kenny with with a side of Jalen Brunson as the All Star Game MVP.
Hell yeah.
Who wins All Star Game MVP if your team wins? LeBron
Oh yeah. Brown.
or Jalen Brown? He just completes it, wins all the MVPs. That's the one he's missing, right?
I think he might actually go fucking nuts. The legends might let him do that shit.
It would be him and Jason Tatum and maybe
Get the
James
young-
Harden.
the
It'd be
young-
the Celtics. Yeah, the Celtics will go off for that squad.
Yeah.
Dame might do a little something, but like Steph, KD, Bron, Dame. I mean, Dame might want another MVP too, so maybe. But I'm going Team Kenny, man. Are you excited about All Star Weekend? Like,
Not at all. Am I watching? Yes.
same.
That's it, dog.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. We're gonna be there. We'll be
They're
there.
still advertising like this NBA versus WNBA thing with Clay and Steph, but Caitlin Clark said she's not doing it. So did they get like
It's gonna be Sabrina Ionescu and somebody else.
who was that other person? Do they get Paige out of UConn? Can you do that yet? Or do they have to be in the WNBA?
They can make up whatever fucking rules they want to.
Ain't nobody else stroking like that. It's got to be like Paige or Caitlin Clark, really. Unless they bring back like a legend. I don't know, like Cheryl Swoops. I don't know.
Trash.
In the shoe news, we got
Man, big shoes on the field today, bro. Big shoes on the field. AJ Brown wearing the first bronze. Travis Kelsey, the patent leather all red 11s. Fucking Jalen Hurts getting warmed up in the band bread ones with the band over the Nike symbol. Them shits were crazy. He wore the 11s that he's been rocking all season in the game. Who else? Saquon wore the 11s, just a different colorway than the ones that he hurdled Buddy in. Mahomes wore some Adidas. Best shoe, probably the rookie. What was his name?
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, bro. He got the Jordan 1 lows, green and white on. Them shits go crazy. But dope shoes, man.
Shout out Kendrick too, rocking the Diamond Turfs on stage at halftime.
Hell yeah.
Some more shoe news. Asia Wilson revealed the first colorway of the A1s, the all pink joints, her favorite color. I don't think I've seen anybody in Unrivaled rock them yet. I'm sure she'd want to be like the first woman from the W to wear them on court.
Bam's rocking her shoes for sure.
I was gonna say you can find them on court because Bam is rocking them for Miami.
Yeah.
So that's cool to see her shoe already out there. Also, Reebok released the Allen Iverson Question golf shoe. I wonder if they're as comfy as the hoop shoe is, because I would definitely golf in those. I'd feel better about golfing in Iversons than I do about golfing in Jays, because I feel like you got to have a level of game. You mentioned Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, and these guys wearing Jays. They just won the Super Bowl. My golf game does not deserve to wear Jays on the golf course. I feel way more comfortable wearing some Questions as I play.
I don't think it works that way with golf, bro. I think the swag is number one. Game is second.
It is not number one because my swag has been on 10 every time I've showed up to the golf course. and the game has not been the same, my guy. I've had a couple good days. My best day of golf ever was the day we had a huge, it's called a derecho out here in Des Moines. So my game got cut short. I only got like 10 holes in, and I was killing that day. A big-ass storm took out the city and my best game ever. It was stupid.
Hell yeah.
I was wearing Adidas anyway, so I don't have any J golf shoes. But
yeah, not yet.
You got any other shoe news?
That's it right now, man.
All right, who you giving the L to this week?
Who's taking my L this week? T. Morant is going to take one of them L's.
Ooh.
For getting ejected the other night at a Grizzlies game in Memphis.
You're not on the team, though.
With 2 minutes left in the game. There was a delay in the game just to get his ass up out of there. He handled it well, but come on, bro. Be a good role model for your son.
Does the other team get free throws when the parent gets kicked out?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Depends on what was said, maybe, and what time, probably. But yeah, T getting one of those for sure.
Uh, Drake.
Yeah, hold that.
I don't need to say nothing. Go ahead and take that.
L completed.
That's and again, we don't need to hear "They Not Like Us" ever again, unless we're talking about this Super Bowl performance for the next week. We treat this like Christmas lights. You know what I mean? Enjoy them for a while after the holiday, but eventually it's time to take this shit down and leave it alone until next season. So we just pack up "They Not Like Us," put it in the museum in the Hall of Fame where it belongs,
Fact. Put it in the museum.
and focus on GNX. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Agreed.
And for Drake, he got that album coming out. He's featured on Party Next Door's project coming out.
I hope that shit's a banger.
We're calling it a featuring Drake so he can get around all the legal shit because he can't release music right now because of these dumbass lawsuits. But so yeah, we can all move past this now. That chapter is closed as of Super Bowl 59.
Hell yeah.
But Drake can definitely hold that L.
Wild business.
It's a Hall of Fame L as well as the dub for Kendrick. Bully of the week.
Bully of the week besides Kendrick. The motherfucking Eagles getting it done against KC. Besides them. I'm going to give it to Braun Jr., man, for hitting his first three in the game, dog. I'm going to give him the bully, bro.
Ooh, and you see the dunk he had in the G, too?
Yeah, he's doing his thing right now.
He almost hurt himself, but that was a hell of a dunk.
Yeah, he was surprised by it himself for sure.
That's the Laker you decided to give the bully to this week?
I got three bullies. The last
Okay.
The last one is Buddy AR-15, Mr. himself. When no LeBron James drops 45 points.
Yo, that move alone constitutes you being AR-15 for Halloween next year.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out AR, bro. You're going to be a Laker for a long time with shit like that, bro.
Real shit.
Keep it
Again, outside of Kendrick, I'm going to stick with the Super Bowl and show some Iowa love. I don't get an opportunity to do this a lot when it's not Caitlin Clark. So let's another Iowa Hawkeye representing in the Super Bowl today. Cooper DeJean. We talk about this Eagles defense on his 22nd birthday, takes a Patrick Mahomes interception to the house. And then to celebrate a Super Bowl victory post-game, he gets a slice of birthday cake with Saquon Barkley, who's also celebrating his birthday, sliced by Chris Berman. And that's how you celebrate your birthday, by getting a pick six, winning the Super Bowl, and Boomer slicing you a piece of funfetti cake.
Damn, bro.
And capping it off with Bully of the Week. I was on Cooper DeJean. Shout out, Cooper DeJean. Happy birthday.
Fly, Eagles, fly, man. Y'all did it. And
God, people are mad about it. This is the most disappointing Super Bowl and halftime song. Shut up. You just dick riding all these people that wore Swift shit to their Super Bowl party are pissed off now. All this
was one of that shit from YouTube back in 02.
Who do I want to win? Who do I want to win? They all got Taylor Swift shirts on. This is what the fuck you get for not actually paying attention to the game. Wearing these dumbass shirts, looking stupid at your Super Bowl parties.
It's fucking culture. You didn't see fucking Samuel L. out there too? Like, what's wrong?
Oh, come on. Uncle Sam, that was crazy. Another reason Kendrick could have easily got Bully of the Week this week.
Exactly.
Bully of Black History Month so far. Kendrick Lamar. But we closed the door.
Yeah.
As of this episode of Recognized Game, They Not Like Us wins.
That's it.
And man, make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe, both Gym Mint 10 Sports and our personal pages, as well as Recognized Game on TikTok and Instagram. You can find CB the Bully at CB the Bully on all of those things, as well as myself in my _bag 2023. You also see the links below for our affiliate links for WWE, NBA, NFL, MLB, shops, as well as Fanatics and In My Bag Apparel. Get your original merch there. $15 off in your first purchase when you use that link below. and Denver, Colorado area. If you live there, go in there, go and be there, visit there. Check out Bully's Custom Styles on Booksy. He's out there making husbands. You could be the next one.
You know what I'm saying? That's sign language.
Until next time, this has been Recognized Game. I am EB. That is CB the Bully. We'll see you next week.
Recognize it?